Anybody got anything to say to me, you can take your brother out the pulpit. You find me in the streets. 1.
So, I guess that's it.
This summer, we didn't have a song of the summer.
I've been seeing the memes. It's been hard.
And one of the reasons why we didn't have a song of the summer is because the soundbite of the summer was "I Don't Respect Kanye as a Man," performed by Pusha T and his brother Malice. What I have on my phone is a group chat between myself, Ye, and Pusha, and it was initiated right after the release of Donda.
And Ye says, in the diss record to Drake, you still not 100% in the right with me, even though he should not have spoke on your wife. You not perfect either. The record still caused me mental harm. That meant when you shot. You hit me and my family also. We have to protect my brain at all costs because I have the vision. It's accountability. You're not wrong, but you're not 100% right either. Then Pusha replies, I agree. I'm not perfect. I never learned how to turn the other cheek when disrespected. It's how I was raised. Martin Luther King wasn't respected in my house either. Hurting you or your family wasn't my intention. Protecting my family and the brand, that was the only mission. Sorry for any trauma caused by me.
Right. He apologized for basically dragging Kanye into the beef with Drake.
Right.
If you're willing to apologize to someone, that would mean that you respect them, right?
Or just as a man, he felt like,
if you're running a whole rollout based on not respecting someone and you're a man, but you already apologized to this man, then are you being honest with your base? Is this a real feeling or is this contrived for marketing? And another thing I want to point out is that he said Martin Luther King wasn't respected in his household. Isn't Malice engulfed in the same scripture as Martin Luther King?
What's going on YouTube? It's Coffee tapping back in with some updates and consequence. It feels like it's been forever since we've seen this man. Y'all remember when he snuffed Joe Budden jump off Joe Beasy? That ish was crazy. But yeah, Consequence was on good music before. He knows Pusha T and Ye real well, as long as the rest of the whole Ye affiliates and people that have been close to him. You know what I mean? I can't recall if he's still in good standing with him or not, but whether he is or isn't, you hear him going in on King Push. What do y'all think about that new Clipse album, man? I think it was dope to see them get back together after all this time. We know Malice was on that journey spiritually and all that, but he's back at it. The Clipse is active. The project has been well received from everything I've been seeing. I believe the numbers been up. Everything's going well, and Consequence is saying, yo, all that success is built off of fraudulence because you used FYA energy to gain momentum to the project dropping or whatever, like a jump off point or whatever. And I know a lot of people is going to say, well, yo, that's marketing, right? And we see it all the time, man. This next news story we're about to get into is a pretty similar situation, but in a different way. We'll get to it, man. But what do y'all think Consequences saying here? Are you like, yo, King Push just doing what he trying to do promo wise, or you think Consequences blowing this out of proportion? Like, you didn't really see Pusha T running with that narrative as heavy as he's acting like, you know, that it got the whole summer twisted in the way he put it, or what, you know what I mean? You think like, hey, even though he dragged Ye into the beef and apologized to him, he still can say what he's got to say? Or do you think that's fugazi, like a lot of this other ish we're seeing tap in with it? Let's discuss it all in this next situation that I'm talking about here. The Game, that's always his MO. Shit, we were just talking about Kanye. This documentary 3 that's on the way is supposed to have been out, but him and Kanye fell apart. They even dropped that Tina joint, Tina Knowles. Game DM'd her and they ran this fake play. Like, that's pretty much all the Game honestly really does, man, is try to run with the internet narratives and fake narratives and shit. And it used to work for him, man, but people got sick of it all. And then having Whack 100 as your manager constantly on bullshit doesn't do you any favors at all. But in this situation here, he didn't jump out the window with the ish it stemmed from Memphis Bleek being on Drink Champs and mentioning, or they asked him about the old game beef. And this story goes way back to before even the original documentary dropped, and he was getting all that. And because of Get Low Records, which JT, the bigger figure who the game shit on, honestly, you know what I mean? We know the game talk about stepping stones and jump off points. He used everybody for anything he could to push his bottom line and left them in the dust, even his own brother, man. But it's wild because all these years, Bleek, he just reiterated what he said before, and he didn't like put extras on it. From what I saw, he didn't go all the way in, but before he said he pressed the game. And on a couple different interviews that he kept running into him, and Game Tech kept talking greasy, you know, because he was sending all these diss records at him. And Bleek got back at him with that one, that the So Seductive Tony Ayo beat. But Game, I don't know, like always talking hella greasy. And I never heard him say nothing about that all these years, that Bleek, you know, was lying or anything like that. Like Bleek said he checked him in person, but now here's the Game saying like, yo, you never wanted nothing with me on the mic or in the booth or whatever. So here he is now calling out Bleek. Like, I don't know, I thought Bleek went about that interview like, you know, he's just telling the old story. The old interviews is out there. We all heard it, where he was saying he G-checked the Game. When I asked him this time, he was just like, yeah, yo, he was throwing diss records at me because of the whole Get Low Records thing, and here we are now. And it is what it is, or whatever. He didn't bring up the whole part about G-checking him, but the Game's got to get in, you know, album mode. You know what I mean? You got to get them momentum up with all the social network shit and all that, man. And hope Whack 100 don't dig into the profits and revenue of that project too much while he's cooking the books. I know people get sick of me hearing me say that, but that shit they've been doing forever with that lawsuit. Shorty keeps pushing in court for them to, you know, now like take the money from here, take it there, and then they cook the books and move it. But in the recent one, she was talking about how they're running shell companies and all of that. And yo, eventually that can turn into an embezzlement case or something like that, I believe, man. That shit only goes so far. Like a lot of shady businessmen have did that over the years, but eventually that shit will catch up to you, man. And then last on the news, Pete Rock reacting to Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs squashing the beef. I couldn't believe that. We just saw the other day word of Benny and Conway having some issues, some internal Griselda beef. I was like, what? Whoa, slow up. What the fuck is going on? And then here he squashes the issue with Gibbs. What was it, at the airport? And Pete Rock is just happy, man. A living hip hop legend right there. Can we just take a moment and give him his respect that he deserves, man? One of the dopest ever, man. And he's like saying, yo, can't we all get along? I'm paraphrasing. That's not what he really said. What he really said is, that's freaking beautiful. Now let's conquer the game in unity. That's all we need to win, man. So that's pretty interesting to see the living legend reacting to that, man. So hit the comments with your thoughts on all these news topics. As always, I always want to hear from the people. Sub up, and I get with y'all on the next one. Peace.